Good evening. Welcome to Injustice Investigations. I am your host, Al Scott. As always, we thank you for tuning in to our live broadcast. Tonight, as you know, our story takes us to the state of Georgia, where three white men learned how much time they will be spending in prison for chasing down Ahmaud Arbery and executing him in broad daylight. They alleged that they were making a citizen arrest. I told you earlier. You cannot make a citizen arrest where no crime has been committed. Tonight, I'm going to play a few clips from the hearing today. I'm going to play you a clip on some of the things that the judge said before he handed down their sentence today. The judge had some very powerful words to say. And it was almost as if he had stepped back from the law and was just speaking from his heart. Tawana Banks, good evening to you. Welcome. Tammy, always honored, welcome. And Dana Hudson, I saw you first. Welcome as well. I forgot, please. And I guess, with the judge giving such a powerful statement before sentencing, he was speaking from his heart because you would have to be, as I always say, a monster in human form not to have been touched by this. We're going to go on to discuss some things that the defense attorney said about Ahmaud Arbery, his mother, who spoke today after the sentencing. A reporter asked her about a statement that the attorney had made about her son, and asked her what she commented on, and she did. And so we'll get to that shortly. Today, Gregory McMichael, Travis McMichael, and partner in crime, William Bryan, were sentenced to life in prison. The father, Gregory, the son, Travis, both were sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole, plus 30. Because William Bryan cooperated with authorities, the judge was a little lenient on him. He was given life in prison with the possibility of parole. But in the state of Georgia, he has to do at least 30 years before he can even be considered for parole. Ms. Banks says, I hope they got life and throw away the key. They did. They received life. Their defense, and when I heard this today, I mean, it made no. It reminded me of the little white boy that I think was drunk and killed some people. I think one or two was his friend, and they came up with was it Enzo or some kind of name that nobody's ever heard that he suffers from. And the attorneys, because he's a filthy rich white boy, said that sending him to prison would not do any good because basically he's not fit for prison. Hell, I wasn't fit for prison, but I went. But we can make up all kinds of excuses to justify our wrong or to try and minimize our wrong in a situation. I said earlier today, I think it should be criminal, and this is not pertaining to anyone in particular, but it happens a lot. I think it should be criminal for the media and the police departments to go and bring up someone's criminal background after law enforcement has killed them for no reason. They do that simply because what they're trying to tell you in their subliminal messages is he should have been dead or she should have been dead a long time ago. We just done you all some justice. They meant nothing. It's called character assassination. I don't think they should be allowed to do that. I think it should be criminal on both ends. We pray. I'm gonna read this quick statement from Ms. Banks. She says, "Now we got to get justice for Malia Davis by Brittany Barnes, getting her locked up. That is my prayer until the day I die." And the thing about murder, yes, there's no statute of limitations on it. I don't know how come 99.9% of the world, not America, 99.9% of the world know Brittany Barnes is guilty, with the exception of Houston Police Department. The judge quoted some of the things that the men said. Some of them were very disturbing. Travis McMichael fired the fatal shots that killed Ahmaud Arbery, who was charged. The judge said, which gave me chills, he said, Ahmaud Arbery went out for a run, but wind up running for his life. This is what Ahmaud Arbery's mother, Wanda, some of what she said in court today.
Your Honor, these men have chose to lie and attack my son and his surviving family. They each have no remorse and do not deserve any leniency. This wasn't a case of mistaken identity or mistaken fact. They chose to target my son because they didn't want him in their community. They chose to treat him differently than other people who frequently visited their community. And when they couldn't sufficiently scare him or intimidate him, they killed him. My family is gonna miss Ahmaud. We're going to miss his jokes, his impersonations, his warm smile. These men deserve the maximum sentence for their crimes. Ahmaud never said a word to them. He never threatened them. He just wanted to be left alone. They were fully committed to their crimes. Let them be fully committed for the consequences. Your Honor, I'm standing here before you as the mother of Ahmaud Arbery, asking you to please give all three defendants who are responsible for the death of my son the maximum punishment in this court, which I do believe is life behind bars without the possible chance for parole.
Before Ahmaud Arbery's mother ended her speech, she began it by speaking directly to her son. That was emotional. I think it was. She spoke directly to him. The defense said if Gregory McMichael was to go to prison, it wouldn't be good for him. He would get hurt in prison. That's on Gregory. Gregory wrote this chapter in his life. The three men wrote chapters in their life. And if this is how it ends for them, then, oh well, it is what it is. It ain't what it ain't. So many times the defense tried to point Ahmaud Arbery out as being the bad guy. He shouldn't have been jogging over that way. He should have stopped. I think it was Travis McMillan that said, I think, but I don't know if he was the one fired to pay the shots, said, stop or I will blow your fucking head off. The judge brought up that remark. And I think it was William Bryan who said, this is the worst fucking day of my life. The prosecutor said, well, I think it was Ahmaud Arbery's fucking worst day. Really? We're still playing victim here. We're still playing defending myself. You cannot claim self-defense when you are the aggressor. And I know throughout each state the laws change when it comes to self-defense, but I honestly think they all should be the same across the board. You cannot claim self-defense when you are the aggressor. Stop or I will blow your fucking head off. The judge said Ahmaud Arbery was a young man with dreams. I'm gonna play it just a quick portion of some of the things that he said in the courtroom today before he handed down their sentence. I'm not going to play the whole thing. Just some of it. I hope I got the right video.
I've also considered any lawful evidence which tends to show the motive.
Okay, go back. All right.
Start with this statement. We all now know, based upon the verdict that was rendered in this court in November, Ahmaud Arbery was murdered. It's a tragedy. It's a tragedy on many, many levels. On February 23rd of 2020, a resident of Glenn County, a graduate of Brunswick High, a son, a brother, a young man with dreams, was gunned down in as we understand it, he left his home apparently to go for a run, and he ended up running for his life. He entered the English home at approximately 1:04 p.m. and left that home at about 1:08. At 1:14, Greg McMichael calls 911 to let them know that there's a black male running down the street. And within moments, Ahmaud Arbery is shot and killed. The three men that are now before this court chased him in a residential neighborhood for at least 5 minutes in pickup trucks, armed with a shotgun and a .357 revolver. The state mentioned this today about the time period, but I did want to put that time period in context. And the only way I could think to do so, maybe a little theatrical, but I think it's appropriate. I want us all to get a concept of time. What I'm going to do, I'm going to sit silently for 1 minute. That 1 minute represents a fraction of the time that Ahmaud Arbery was running in Satilla Shores. That's approximately a minute. Again, the chase that occurred in Satilla Shores occurred over about a 5-minute period. And when I thought about this, I thought from a lot of different angles. I kept coming back to the terror that must have been in the mind of the young man running through. The jury heard the evidence and returned a verdict. And what a difficult job they had under the circumstances. Without any comment on the verdict itself, I think all counsel will agree and accept that this was a very difficult case to even get a jury impaneled on. But there are issues out there with regard to the jury that were brought up in the press and elsewhere. But I want to give credit to those members of the panel, not because of their verdict, just because of the fact that they were willing to go through the process that they went through with the state, with the defense, and with this court. We're here today to sentence the defendants. In discharging the duty, this court is required to consider all mitigating and aggravating circumstances. The court has considered those circumstances, including but not limited to all aspects of the crimes charged, the past criminal record or lack thereof of the defendants. I've also considered any lawful evidence which tends to show the motive of the defendants, their lack of remorse, their general moral character, and any predisposition to commit other crimes. Now, I think in this case, the record speaks for itself, and the defendant's own words, I think, guide this court with regard to sentencing. Went back through my notes and other resources to pull some of the quotes that we have in this case. I'll start with Greg McMichael. In my opinion, Greg McMichael very early on in this tried to establish a narrative. He made comments like, Ahmaud Arbery was trapped like a rat. Stop or I'll blow your and I won't repeat it again head off. He effectively admitted that he wasn't sure what Ahmaud Arbery had done wrong. Quote, I don't think the guy has actually stolen anything out there, or if he did, it was early in the process. But he keeps going back over and over again into this damn house.
And I'm gonna stop it there at that part. You can hear the anger, passion in the judge's voice as he speaks. Because it's a very case when he wasn't doing anything wrong. And as the judge said, Gregory was already getting his alibi together. When you are in the right, there's no need for you to get an alibi together. You only do that when you're wrong. And for those 3 men, in my opinion, there is absolutely no justification in absolute wrong. At a news conference today, after the sentencing, Ahmaud Arbery's mother was asked how important was it for her to respond to comments from Gregory McMichael's defense attorney, Laura, who called Arbery's toenails long and dirty in her closing argument. Here's what his mother said. The long toenails that she brought up in her closing argument, she failed to mention that Ahmaud was lying there in the middle of the road with his big toe in his chest. She left that part out. That was a very, very sad and ugly comment to say. I mean, she should be disbarred from saying that. When William Bryan got into it, he yells, "Y'all got him? Y'all got him." The judge said after he was shot, Gregory McMichael, Travis McMichael, William Bryan, all turned their backs to him while he lay there dying. They turned their backs to him. It shows you how diabolical these individuals are. The judge said the worst crime that was ever committed in that city is when Ahmaud Arbery was murdered. Of course, they are going to appeal that sentence, and that's their right to do so. Will it help? Absolutely, positively, unquestionable, no, it will not. And they talked about remorse, and we all have talked about that through different shows. I don't care if it's a family member of mine that's been killed. I'm never looking to see remorse on the killer's face. And I don't want the killer to fake remorse. If you're sorry for something, then it's going to show. So when they don't show any remorse, it doesn't bother me. Think about who you're talking about. They just killed someone. Do you think they're gonna give some damn remorse? They don't give a damn. If they do, it's acting. It's acting. If they do. Before they were sentenced, the mother said that she didn't want to hear anything from them. There was nothing they could say to her. And I totally agree with that. Ahmaud Arbery is dead. When his father spoke today, it was emotional. He talked about not having his son home during the holidays. The McMichaels and Bryan are in prison for life. But Ahmaud Arbery is in the ground because of their diabolical act. Now, there is a good side here, and the good side is Gregory McMichael, Travis McMichael, William Bryan can still conversate with their family and friends. They can have visits, talk to them on the phone, through letters. Ahmaud Arbery is dead. He's dead. For being black. For being black. I wish William Bryan had received the same punishment. No possibility for parole. I don't know what closure is, and everybody see it different. I just don't think there's a such thing as closure. Even when we say justice, okay, I understand, but that's still really no justice because your loved one is gone. And the defense started early this morning with motion after motion after motion. Let's delay this, let's delay that. And every time the judge would respond, deny. And in my mind, I'm like, he's frustrated. He's ready to get to the sentencing phase because this has become personal to this judge. And even though you're not supposed to let that happen, to be honest, you just can't control your emotions. And some things just irk you the wrong way. He's a judge, but he's human, and he has feelings. They're not through. I think it's next month. They have to answer to the call of a hate crime. It's not over. Not by a long shot. It's not over. We have a problem that's been this way since the beginning of time, where one person sees themselves better than the next person. And with that being said, if I hurt this person, kill this person, I've done nothing wrong. And they haven't. They didn't do anything wrong. They didn't. And the courts know that. They know that. They didn't do nothing wrong. Because that's them. That's how they live. The only thing they're sorry about is going to prison. Gregory McMichael was an investigator for the DA's office. Everybody spoke highly of him. He did no wrong. And I believe that 1,000,000%. I believe that 1,000,000% because here's the thing. When the Ku Klux Klan was burning Black people while they were still alive on a cross, while they was hanging Black people just because they were Black, that wasn't wrong to them. That had to be done. So they're right. Ain't nothing wrong. But the only thing about you and your beliefs, and your principles, and who raised you, and how you now see things, it is up to you how you respond to any situation. But unfortunately, a lot of times it is not up to you to decide what punishment you should have if there be any. These charges carries the death penalty. But the prosecutor, and I'm assuming after speaking with the family, decided, no, we'll just go for life in prison without the benefit of parole. Michelle Griffin, good evening to you. Somebody else popped up. Miss Tamika Wallace, good evening to you, and welcome, Miss. Can I say Griffin? So I would go to prison for life, but I still did nothing wrong, even to the end. Even till the end, I was wrong. We never got it. You know why you never got it? Because you're never going to get it. A person cannot give you what they don't have. These three white men chased and murdered 25-year-old Black jogger Ahmaud Arbery in South Georgia, simply because he was a Black man. The judge described the killing of Ahmaud Arbery as chilling and truly a disturbing scene. The judge went on to say, when I thought about this, talking to the court, I thought from a lot of different angles, and I kept coming back to the terror that must have been in the mind of that young man running, because he knew he was prey. He knew it was going to kill him. He knew it. He knew whatever he had planned for that day, because there's some angry, racist, trifling, insignificant white men got a shotgun and they want me dead. What can I do? I don't have no weapon. I'm out here jogging in shorts. Probably not even thinking about what he could have done wrong, because he knew he didn't do anything wrong. But these are just racist white men. You cannot tell me and raise your right hand to God and be sincere and say that these three racist white men have not done things similar to this in the past and gotten away with it. Nobody knows about it. We don't become evil overnight. We don't become racist overnight. Inquired as it's kept. Most people have done wrong for so long, they now see the wrong they do as right. They see it as right. We are no different than anybody on the planet. We laugh. When things bother us, we get upset, we cry. When we bleed, it's the same. I don't know why you're angry with me because I'm Black. I didn't have a say in the matter. I didn't. I didn't create me. Ahmaud Arbery didn't create himself. If you're angry with Black people for being Black, pick up the phone and call heaven and talk to God about it and be pissed at him. That's who you be pissed at. But if you hate Negroes, so much, leave the country. Leave. Take it to the hills. You're miserable people. You're miserable people. You're people of self-made misery. And we kill Ahmaud Arbery all over again when we throw anything to the wall that we think will stick to degrade him and attack his character. There was a video came out about, I think it was 2 or 3 white boys had went in that same structure, the same one, on camera. Ain't nobody mess with him. Nothing. Nothing. I wish they would have been given death. And I wish their sentence would have been carried out today. Again, there's absolutely no defense for absolute wrong. His sister talked today with tears in her eyes. Lately, white men and white women who have been executing Blacks just because they have the ability to do it have now found themselves inside of courtrooms where 20, 30 years ago they wouldn't have. And the sad thing about that is that so many Blacks had to be killed. So many white people were not punished for what they did. We had to lose a lot of lives to get the system to even think about prosecuting a white person. We had to stand outside their home. We had to threaten prosecutors, we'll pull you up out the seat. I don't care who sat you there, we will pull you up out. If you don't start prosecuting white folks for killing Blacks. We've been on this mountain too long. Too long. And now we got the Karen showing up. That Karen hadn't met the right Black person. There was a lady in Walmart, and y'all probably remember the video. I think we shared it. I guess that's a compliment. I think it's Hunt Devices, Sweet or something says, give Scott a food pit, he's preaching. I got to preach it like I feel it tonight because This has angered me 100%, 38 high, as she said. But there was this black woman in Walmart, and there was a white woman there who had called her a nigger. That black woman said, I think we shared it, so you go back and look for it on this channel. That the black woman said, call me one more. Just call me one more. Call me one more nigga. I'm gonna beat your ass all over this place. And when the black guy came to try to stop, you ain't call me one more. And I was saying, call her one more, call her one more. They told us in school, before we get out of here, that it says sticks and stones may break your bones, but words will never hurt you. Well, that little nursery rhyme, whatever it is, told a lie. Words do hurt. Even if you've heard them over and over and over again, like words do hurt. They do. Even if you know what they're calling you is not you, they still hurt. And a person can only take so much. A person can only bend so much before one day you go to do it again and they surprised you. Either they became one up on you or they just disappeared. I'm not a nigger. I'm not African American. I'm a black man. We answer to everything they give us. Nigger, Negro, boy, African American. Stop answering to the titles that they give you. Find out who you are. Find out who you are. You didn't create me. You didn't. So you can't put a label on me. Now, it may satisfy you, but it don't satisfy. Kim Potter has been sentenced. Derek Chauvin sentenced. All these sentenced for killing black men. But do you know that if I forget we spoke with her when it first happened, the girl that filmed not Ahmaud Arbery, George Floyd's death. If she didn't film that, guess what? I wouldn't know anything about a George Floyd, and you wouldn't either. If the death of Dante Wright wasn't recorded, I wouldn't know his name. And you wouldn't. Again, we send out our condolences to Ahmaud Arbery's family, but it's a wonderful day, but it's also a very sad day. But if you really look at it, nobody wins. Nobody wins. I encourage everyone on this live feed to continue to film the police when you see the police. Film them in their element. Film the police before it becomes illegal to film the police. Do not agitate the police. Do not say, I'm taping you with your old bitch, dumbass. Oh, I got this on tape. They know you're taping. You're going to make them come over there and get you. You're going to make it worse for the individual that they're working with. Just film. Film and go. Film and go. Don't agitate. Okay, I don't understand. But Michelle Griffin says, "I'm sorry, but hello, family and friends, uh, etc." Oh, happy New Year to you. Happy New Year to you, Griffin. Happy New Year to you and your entire family. It's imperative that we film the police. Filming is getting a lot of attention on these cops that have been getting away with this for decades. And that's why they're meeting behind closed doors with lawmakers to get them to make it illegal for you to film them. I wouldn't bother. I wouldn't mind you filming me. No, no. I mean, if I'm doing my job, I mean, to the best of my ability, I'm not doing anything wrong. You film me all day long. Who's wrong with that? We the people. They weren't talking about black people. When those words were written, man, it was like nothing. And today, they still don't like us. And today, too many black people are still trying to fit in where they don't fit. Maybe if you sit down and have a meeting with yourself, you will learn that you were not created to fit in. Find out where you should be, get there, and sit there. Stop trying to make somebody like you that don't like your black ass. You make yourself look super stupid. Lastly, I think the brother's name is Darius something. I'm gonna probably bring it up tomorrow night. But a while back, he was pulled over by the police. A white woman, cop, I think was the driver. She got out. She got out. She got out with gun in hand, gun in hand, gun in hand. We saw the video today. She's walking with the gun down. Other cops coming. And the guy immediately put his hands out the window. Why are you doing? What's this? A traffic violation? And you do this? She asked him, was he Darius? He said, yes. You have going after your arrest. He gets out. He don't argue with him. He don't cuss him out. He don't call him a Dumbo, super stupid. He act accordingly. So in the unit, they're double checking to make sure they have the right brother. Well, here's what they find. It's the wrong man. Somebody has used his name before. It's not him. The brother they're looking for, a picture comes up with a tattoo. Dark skin. The lady cop did say, we got the wrong man. I'm sorry. And he went on back to his car. He sat and talked with a white lady, and just talking about race. And she told him about a time when she was pulled over by the police. The officer comes to the vehicle, asks for her driver's license. She gets. And the officer says, I think I need to see your insurance and registration. So by this time, she's a young girl. She says she's pissed. And so she's just digging, and she's in the back digging, and she's kind of fussing or whatever. Here's what the officer says. Here's what the officer says. Here's what the officer says to her. Ma'am, stop. I'm going to go sit. Ma'am, I'm going to go sit. Ma'am, I'm going to go sit in my unit, and I'm going to give you some time to get yourself together. And just let me know when you're ready. I'm going to sit right back here, okay? I didn't mean to upset you. What? What? She's going to sit in the car. White woman can sit in the car. And I said that to end the show with this. What they keep lying to you about is that there's a problem at the academy. We have to figure out what it is. You know why they haven't figured it out yet? Because there's not a problem at the academy. The problem comes with who you're giving a badge and a gun to. The academy can't fix this. This is in Black communities, what we're talking about. Police officers respond different to white people. I just gave you an example. If it was at the academy, it would be in white suburbs as well as black neighborhoods. So that tells me that it's targeted to one group of people. But I guess I can understand that because before we had police, we had slave patrol. Look it up when you have time. As always, I thank you all for tuning into our live broadcast tonight. If you like what we're doing, you like the video, I encourage you to please share the video. And as Tammy always 100 said throughout the live feed, if you are able, there's the Cash App information. You can make a donation to the show. Remember, I am not always right, and you are not always wrong. We'll see you tomorrow night.